Take one. Bang, bang, bang. I feel like so many people are deeply unhappy in situationship, relationship, and just dating in general. And so casual dating is when you both mutually agree that you are here to have a good time and you are not specifically looking for a long-term relationship, and that you're here for the vibes and that's it. You guys like have fun and it's super chill, right? No strings attached, no real commitments, and both people are on the same page about that. A situationship is when one of you was waiting for the other person to ask them out and the other person is not. And they are intentionally withholding that because they don't want anything serious. And it's not that casual dating is bad, or like I'm pro like have whatever type of relationship that you want. Not all relationships need to be long-term relationships. Some relationships are just meant to only last a certain time frame just because relationship either hits like the ceiling of its potential, or maybe there was just like you were at an internship and you only overlapped for 3 months, then you're going back home, and it's not a failure because you guys didn't end up in a long-term relationship, but like you guys didn't date forever. It was just casual dating. Relationships don't even have to last a long time.
No, where is the toilet?
Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't work here. Vulnerability is at the heart of meaningful connections. Like, it doesn't actually matter if you don't want something serious or you want something serious, and it doesn't actually matter what you're looking for or if you're open to anything, right? You just have to actually say what you want as early as possible. And if you don't, people will project what they want onto you. And so if somebody else wants a short-term relationship, right, and they want nothing else, they're gonna capitalize off the ambiguity and intentionally be vague and lead you on to what they want, which is a short-term relationship. The same thing goes for long-term relationships. If you're on a date with someone who wants a long-term relationship and you don't see what you want, the other person is going to gear the situation to what they want, which is why it's so important to go in it knowing what you want. Otherwise, you're gonna, like, let's say you were in a short-term relationship, but the other person wants a long-term relationship, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up in a long-term relationship, and if you didn't want to be in that relationship, then you're just not gonna be happy because you didn't want a long-term relationship. And that's why you have to be extremely clear and extremely honest from the start. Because it helps both people understand what they want. Like, crazy take communication is good. I get it. But tell me why literally all of my friends can't do that. Tell me why every single person I talk to is so insecure about telling their partner what they want, whether they're looking for something not serious, or they're looking for something serious, or they don't know what they want. It's literally ridiculous. The thing is, everyone's so scared to get rejected because we live in a world where it's not okay to be rejected. Like you're not allowed to show your hand because everyone's super scared of coming across desperate. Because when you're desperate, people can smell it. Like, people know when you're desperate. And especially when you're dating, nobody wants to come across like they're desperate, because once the other person smells that, they don't want you. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but people are way too afraid of coming across that way. I get that when you're going on a date, you are trying to be the best version of yourself, and you're projecting that out so that you can court the other person. Like, it makes sense. I get it. I do that too. But you really need to be open about who you are and what you want and what you stand for, because that's how you're going to meet the people who have that in common. And you're going to find much more meaningful relationships, because whether it's like a short-term or a long-term relationship, casual, fun, super serious, at least you're going to be on the same page. People are either using relationships to figure out what they want, or they know what they want and they are holding out on the other person and hoping that they want the same thing. I think from the beginning, you really need to clarify what you want with the person. Like with me and my girlfriend, on literally the first date, she was like, listen, I'm 26 and I'm here for the long haul. And I literally only want something that is extremely serious with the intention of being serious. Otherwise, this isn't good for me. And I respect that so much. Like, even if you just want something casual, in the beginning, you just have to say exactly what you're looking for. People are scared of like coming off like too brash or like too presumptuous, and everyone, and the thing about like dating in general is it's like an inherently vulnerable experience, but nobody wants to be more committed or more interested in the other person. Like, we're all playing these like, you have like footsies. And so dating is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. Like, the butterflies in general is normal. Like a little anxiety is normal, but you're not supposed to be like questioning your self-worth, like questioning like, oh, like, does this person even like me? Like, that's not part of it. What I'm really trying to get across is I think just being honest and being who you are and being intentional about what you want at the very beginning. Even if you don't know what you want, that's totally fine. You just say that, hey, like, I actually don't know what I want right now. I'm trying to figure that out, like, and check in with that person. People are just so scared to be vulnerable. This doesn't even just extend to dating. I think people are so scared to say what they want and be themselves as a person because they're nervous about fitting in and they're nervous about being accepted. And it makes sense with relationships because, you know, it's the most intimate thing possible, right? You're presenting your most vulnerable self to somebody, right? Because it's you, right? There's nothing to hide behind. The point I'm trying to make is that when you embrace your authenticity and embrace the self that you know you are, and for all your quirks and all your flaws, you're just going to meet people who fit with that and who resonate with who you are deeply as a person, right? And this goes beyond just dating. Like, you will just be able to meet people who actually resonate with the person that you are to your core, because they are also just like you. And the problem with that is you're gonna obviously be a little bit weird to most people and you're gonna be rejected most of the time. And people aren't gonna like you that much, but that's fine. Like, you don't even like most people anyways. What the fuck? And so when you get rejected by people, it's just so not personal, even though it feels so personal because, again, it's like who you are as a human being. It's so not personal because we're all obviously so different. And I think that so much of life is figuring out who you are and what you like and finding other people who resonate with who you are and who you like. And the faster you can accept that, the faster you meet these people and you can have these beautiful relationships. People are so ashamed of asking for what they want. But the truth is there's so many people out there that there has to be somebody else who just wants what you want, right? There are actually so many people who want so many random things, and we just assume that these people don't want what we want. When the truth is, people like that exist. You have to say what you want and then get rejected a few times. Kind of how it goes. You actually just have to trust that the right connections are gonna come along by being true to yourself. And a lot of it is honestly just having faith, because you don't really know, right? Like, you are just assuming and holding out and praying that, okay, like, if I act this way, somebody else is gonna see me and they're gonna pick me up because they're gonna really, really get me. Like, for example, whenever I'm meeting people in real life, I don't try to pretend that I'm something I'm not, genuinely. Like, I'm super upfront about like how selfish I am as a person, how like much time I don't really have. And when doing that, I attract people who resonate with who I am, who fit really well into my life. They just get it, right? And there's something really, really beautiful about just being yourself and meeting somebody else who is also themselves. And there's like a feeling of like, wow, I am not alone. And it is a top 3 feeling, and it is a very, very beautiful feeling. And it doesn't have to be romantic. Like, that is the entire thing I'm trying to say. This is just about people, like relationships broadly. Yeah, I think I spent a lot of my life being ashamed of who I was and hiding and just trying to fit in. Like, I remember spending so much of middle school just wanting to feel accepted. There was this friend group that I remember, they were like nerds too. Like, they were actually like the cool nerds, right? They're like cool kids, they were like nerds. They all sat in the back of the auditorium, back left. All super nerdy, but I wanted to feel like I belonged to something, and I wanted to feel like I really fit in. And I spent so much time, I remember, like, actually trying so hard to be their friend. And I remember at one point, one of like the guys was like, wait, like, we don't like you. Like, stop trying so hard. And I remember how hurtful that felt. And this is like third grade, like I'm over it, I promise. And I spent a lot of time reflecting on that situation because I realized that I didn't actually want to be friends with them for who they were. I just wanted to have friends. I wanted to have connections, and that came from a place of absence rather than a place of presence. Anyways, it's not that serious. See ya. Why are there so many people in this Whole Foods? What the